Hey there, soul seekers. It is Intuitive Energy Guide, clairvoyant and source energy channel, Kathy Weiss here. Welcome to your weekly energy reading. This is your energy reading for the next 2 weeks. So we are having our energy reading for the weeks from September 23rd. I had to look at my notes. September 23rd, 2019 through October 6th. 2019. Now, know that if you come across this video and it isn't in that 2 week period, it doesn't mean this isn't valid for you. There's definitely something in here that you need to hear and catch. So stick with this even if you're not in that 2 week window. So first of all, I can already hear some of you asking me, why are we having a weekly energy reading for 2 weeks, Kathy? And that's because I am going to be on vacation next Monday and I am closing myself for maintenance, guys. Like, I love you to pieces, but I need a real true rest. And so I just tuned into the energy and am giving us a longer reading. I will come back for your reading on October 7th, but it's probably going to be a slightly different either day or time than usual because I will still be traveling, but I'm just taking that first solid week of I love ya, but I'm taking care of me first. The following 2 weeks, I'll straight up digital nomad on you guys and make sure that we're hanging out and touching base with each other. And there'll be a little bit more information about what you can expect from me from now through October 21st in my newsletter, which is coming out in just a little bit after today's live video. So if you get that, you can watch for it. If you want to get that, you can pop me your email in a private message, or you can head over to kathy-weiss.com and subscribe from my homepage, where you can also get a free mini intuitive reading while you're subscribing. So that's kind of cool. You can also check back here on Facebook. I will periodically check in with you guys and let you know what you can expect with your weekly energy readings and your weekly energy charge up and all that good stuff. Now, let's get into what's going down for the next 2 weeks and what our guides have to say about that, all that good stuff. First of all, I have a question for you. Have you recently, I'm going to say within the last week, 10 days, maybe 2 weeks at the outside, been feeling unusually weepy, unusually tired, like more tired than normal, anxious, irritable, frustrated, or even like flashes of anger popping up? And if you've answered yes to any of those or any other sort of emotional fluctuation that you're perceiving as a little bit more negative or more out of alignment with your normal way of being in the world, here's what's up. We are in the midst of a seasonal energetic shift, and this is worldwide right around the equinox. We have the northern hemisphere shifting into fall, and we have the southern hemisphere shifting into spring. Now, here's the thing. For those of you who are newer to understanding the energetic seasons, there are 3 energy seasons as compared to our 4 calendar seasons. So it doesn't always exactly line up with what's going on in the calendar. And we really didn't talk about the previous one we were in, Pitta in the northern hemisphere and Vata in the southern hemisphere, because they were pretty mild this year. Like, sometimes we have stronger energetic seasons than others, and the Pitta and Vata that we're transitioning out of into our new seasons, they were just kind of like not super intense. But I can feel still that most of us are being slightly affected by the shift. So in the northern hemisphere, as we move into fall, we're experiencing some loss. We're experiencing the loss of daylight, the loss of the greenery, depending on where you live, the loss of the warmer weather. Now, I know, like, I live in the central coast of California, and so we like love fall because it will stay in the 80s and potentially 90s until like the end of October. So we may not be losing heat, but we're losing light, and so our bodies and our minds are still perceiving some loss, which can create anxiety and feelings of sadness and kind of like we don't know why, but we're sort of weepy and crying all the time. And in the southern hemisphere, it's more like re-emerging from hibernation, like waking back up after a really long sleep. So you're might be feeling like groggy and still tired and kind of heavy and like you just haven't like shifted gears into like full bright awake productive mode yet. So what's interesting is that for both of these energetic shifts, we we um we treat them very similarly. In the northern hemisphere, as we're moving into the Vata season, into fall, we want to start to reduce the amount of raw foods we've been like pitta, summertime. I'm like, eat all the raw, cold food you want. But now we need to start to reduce that, reduce the amount of raw foods and salads and cold things, and start to go back to your room temperature beverages or warmer and more cooked foods. And in the southern hemisphere, you can start to increase a little bit the amount of raw foods you're eating, but we still want you to be focused more on things that are warm and nourishing, but more lightening you up. So less heavy warm foods like grilled vegetables and things like that. And still keep with your room temperature beverages because we want to warm you up from the inside out until the weather and the sunlight is sort of in alignment with that energy. So, hey, Carly, yeah, lots of loss for you right now, along with the energetic loss. It sounds like that's a really challenging time for you. And so, again, getting grounded, guys, anytime we're going through any kind of loss, getting grounded with the nutrition that you bring into your body and allowing yourself to rest. If you're feeling overwhelmingly tired during this time of change, give yourself permission to take a little bit more rest. That's a little bit about what's going on with me next week on vacation. I almost always, guys, still broadcast my live videos and hang out and email with you and back and forth and things like that while I'm on vacation. But I need like a real rest, which is why I will be pretty much silent all of next week until I kind of pop back in with you in the first week of October. I have a channeled message for you around this energetic shift, and I just love our guides and how there's always information that can be conveyed, and it's always relevant information being conveyed. And this is a really sweet and short channeled message, but again, just like really timely. It says, hang on. It says, I'm supposed to remind you that this is our 2019 messages book. I sometimes channel the messages in advance and sometimes like right away. So today's channeled message came through first thing this morning. Hey, Troy, yeah, exhausted lately. Everybody is kind of exhausted lately. So give yourself permission to, guys, nap, do more like restorative or gentle yoga if you're someone who does yoga. Give yourself permission to skip one of your intense workouts or maybe just do like a lighter workout and like let yourself replenish. It's okay to like step it back for a short amount of time. And that's really in alignment with the channeled message that I received today. So here's what it says. What we want you to know for the next 2 weeks. It is enough. You are doing so much, more than was ever intended for one human lifetime. We are amazed by your tenacity, your willingness, your courage, your human growth and expansion. You have contributed so much good to the world and the universe. Let it be so. Rest in the knowledge that you have enough, you do enough, and you are enough. May you be at peace. This message is complete. We love you. Amen. what I was sort of picking up on, even as I was reading that message, like more was wanting to come through for you. And it's really about like, you know, as humanity has evolved and our lifetimes have increased, generally speaking, right? The life expectancy for humans has like doubled basically. And so many of us are accomplishing in this lifetime more than we've ever accomplished in any other lifetime. If you believe that your soul returns to earth repeatedly for the growth and expansion of your soul and for the universe, this is for many of us the longest lifetime we've ever experienced. And so we're accomplishing so much more than we've ever accomplished, and so much more than I think our spirit guides ever envisioned for us in our human experiences. And so it's like they just really want us to know like we're doing it. We're doing so good and we're doing so much, and it really is enough. And it really is okay from time to time to step back and to rest and renew and replenish and not need to continue to grow and expand and accomplish all the time. And so that's in this seasonal transition. And depending on your personal sensitivity level, you could be like barely affected by the transition to where you don't even notice it. Or it could take you anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to really adjust. I'm going to say those of us that are highly sensitive, we've probably been feeling it for at least 2 weeks, and we'll probably keep feeling it for about 3 or maybe 4 more. So know that this period of time doesn't have to be one of like massive leaps and bounds forward. It can be more of a quiet, subtle time where there is a little bit of forward momentum, or maybe there's none at all, and it's a really deliberate time for you to just say, I'm just gonna hang out and like really be amazed at myself and how far I've come, and like that's all good. Make sense? If it doesn't, questions or comments for sure, let me know. I'm going to be drawing a card from the Oracle of the Mermaids today. I just felt really drawn to the beauty. Like the images of these cards to me is so lovely and inspiring. And that's why I went for this deck of cards. So, giving it a little shuffle. And then, I peeked at the bottom card and I thought it was pretty. So I'm going to just like, I don't want to like sway myself, you guys. Okay, so when I work with people one-on-one, hey, Lori, jumping in late, but based on the comments, yeah, this is totally going to apply to you for sure. So when I work one-on-one with people, I invite them to tell me where in the deck their card is. It's like that top one is sticking out, and there's like a natural break here, and I'm feeling more drawn to the natural break. So let's go down there. Remember, guys, oracle cards are not fortune tellers. They aren't going to answer the questions, so to speak, that you have about your life or what's in your mind, but they are inspirational tools that can prompt your thinking or your intuition, or help you look at situations in your life from a different perspective. They're really great, like self-exploratory tools. Ooh, beautiful. So this card says vulnerability. Open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. And just the sweetest image there of the merman, I guess you would call him, the merman holding and supporting the mermaid. Or she's not a mermaid, she's actually a human. Or at least she's in human form because she has legs, right? So we'll assume that she is at least in human form. And with the vulnerability and the topic that we're talking about today, about being a little bit perhaps more restful and easeful and appreciative of your life's accomplishments so far, I imagine that this is more where the universe is wanting us to be, like in a place of repose, in a place of ease. Like she just looks so relaxed. I mean, she could potentially be sleeping, but when I look at the energy of her body, there's no tension, and she's just allowing herself to be held. And so what I'm hearing for you is allow yourself to be held by the universe and in that knowledge of your goodness, and that your goodness is enough. Like, it's enough if you smiled at somebody today. It's enough if you held the door open for someone today. It's enough if all you did was get up, have breakfast, and go back to bed and sleep because you're tired today. Let's not be fooled. I'm going to channel this. Let's not be fooled by the illusion that achieving goals and accomplishments is what contributes to your worth or your value or your tally board. I don't know how else to like describe that, but I see like chalk marks, like keeping score of your life. You being accepting of your present moment, whether you perceive it to be good, bad, or indifferent, is enough. And the word repose keeps coming up. So allowing yourself a little bit of repose over the next 2 weeks. I opened to the wrong page. Give me 1 second, guys. I do like to just peek into the guidebook and check in with the author's intention for the energy of the card, as well as the intuitive intentions or intuitive messages that I receive with the cards. And what it says is we all need and crave a sense of belonging. It's a deep and primal feeling at the very core of our survival instincts. And deep, intimate connection can only be created by deeply understanding who we are, right? So what I'm kind of interpreting from that for you guys is that, like, the more you deeply understand yourself, the deeper a connection you can have with others. And that doesn't mean you can't have deep connections with others, but the more, going back to the message, the more you see your good, the more you see what's valuable about you, the more you see how far you've come and how much you have accomplished in this lifetime, the more you have to offer into your connections with other human beings. And that does require a sense of ease and vulnerability and honesty and comfort. And those things come from repose, from giving yourself time to refuel and recharge, and being patient as our energy shifts in the seasonal shift into fall, northern hemisphere, or sort of ramping up into spring in the southern hemisphere. So I'm just kind of reading the comments. Do I think you will ever get your dog back? Carly, that is such a really like profound question, because I know how meaningful our pets can be to us. And I don't have an answer for you right now. Could potentially drop into a one-on-one session where I can read the energy specifically for you, as opposed to the collective energy, which is what the weekly energy readings are all about. But no, guys, this is just thank you for asking the question, Carly, because this is really great information for everyone, especially when we start talking about the actions of others and the fact that we are all have free will. And so I, as an intuitive, am able to read and interpret your personal energy in the present moment, as opposed to a psychic who is feeling the potential manifestations of things that have yet to come. So answering future-based questions for me is really difficult because I'm not a psychic. I'm not feeling future vibrations. I'm an intuitive and a clairvoyant, meaning that I am feeling present moment vibrations and able to interpret them and guide you and offer you guidance and action steps to move forward from where you are now. So that was a really great opportunity for us to differentiate the work that I do in the world versus the work that other types of energy readers and healers do in the world. So Carly, as far as that question goes, potentially I'm not the right healer to be working with that, but I would be more than happy to work one-on-one with you to potentially heal the energy around the losses that you are experiencing and give you guidance on how to move forward. And if you want a one-on-one session, any of you, if you want a one-on-one session with me, you can private message me, or you can head over to my website, kathy-weiss.com, and click on the work with me link there. And that being said, as I mentioned earlier, I will be going on vacation and sort of closing myself down for energetic and spiritual maintenance, so to speak, which means that today's session of Monday mini messages. Today is September 23rd, 2019. I have 3 spots open for mini messages today, and then we're not going to see those come back until October 21st. So if you want to get your personal dose of caffeination and get some energy reading and some guidance to get you through the next couple of weeks, same thing. You can head over to kathy-weiss.com, and on the Work With Me page, book yourself into one of those last 3 slots for mini messages, or one-on-one private sessions are also going to be coming back online starting October 21st. I'm all booked up until I head out of town for those. So here's the thing, guys. I'm not disappearing off the face of the planet, and you are always welcome to message me, and I will be back the second week of October, but just know I am going to go a little bit silent from September 26th through October 6th, so that I can rest and heal and renew and all of that good stuff and have more to offer you. So if you missed the top of today's video, make sure you go back and catch that. I love you so much. Thanks for tuning in, whether you watched live or later, and I will be back and see you again very soon. Have a fabulous week. I love you guys. Namaste. Bye.